last to fall. I won't shed a tear for them to see. And I won't have your name to call. 'Cause I will be the last to fall.
Yeah, welcome back, everybody. So yeah, we're gonna say hello to our fabulous, fantastic crew here. Before we do go around and do our introductions, though, I want to say a real quick thank you to sponsors. So we've got our show, Cult Divinity Lost from Helmgast. Helmgast, one of the sponsors, and of course Modiphius, who makes this amazing system, as well as the newest addition to it, which is the Klingon rulebook, which we're using here for this campaign. So thank you again to the sponsors, and yeah, we'll go around. We'll start at the top left with Dev. Tell us a little bit about Kolek and a quick bit about yourself.
Hey folks, thanks for joining us today. I'm Dev, and I'm playing Kolek, the ship's medical mad scientist and proud papa of a new Targ companion, some sort of saber-toothed Targ that we met last week. Currently, Kolek is covered in Targ poo, so he's not representing the most hygienic of surgeons, but hopefully we'll find a quick solution to that problem.
Indeed. And then next we've got Kat, who plays Tavana. I think you might be muted there, Kat.
I'm having a Monday today, y'all. Sorry about that. My name is Kat. I'm at Clerk of Court. I'm playing Tavana, who is the ship's comm officer, and has been learned Ferengi negotiation through intimidation.
Definitely. That was pretty funny. And then next we've got Anna. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your character.
Hey, I'm Anna at Numeria 941, and I play Valkyris, who is the ship's science officer who is good at one thing, and trying to impress the girl that they like, ain't it?
Fantastic. Next we've got Shauna playing J'adore. Tell us a little bit about your character and everything.
Hey, I'm Shauna Flanksters, and I'm playing J'adore, the ship's engineer. She's very good on the ship, but she has spent zero time in a forest in the wilderness. She is confused what this hunt is. She's more confused, I think, now what a proper hunt is more than anything else. I think she just wants to get back to her ship where things make sense.
That's fair. And then last but not least, we've got Buster playing Baraj. Tell us a little bit about the captain and yourself.
Hi, I'm Buster, and I play Captain Baraj, who she's got a really storied past. She also has a very annoying Targ in her lap who won't sit still, and decided that it's going to take over her time right now, which she's about to get rid of. We're about to put her outside. But but yeah, Baraj is captain, and she is a fairly experienced Klingon KDF officer, as well as a stint in the Federation, or in Starfleet. So there you go, and as always, Baraj will let you know.
Fantastic. So yeah, last week we ended with what was supposed to be a Targ hunt ended up being sort of a giant Klingon-eating serpent hunt. And you more or less succeeded. The snake did get away, but you got a cool little saber-toothed Targ to take with you. I'm assuming at that point you wanted to head back to the ship and get on with the mission. but let me know if there was something else that you wanted to do before you headed back.
Just
All right, I will take
reassure
care of that.
Jador that this is not typical of what hunting is usually like. I know that doesn't mean very much to you right now, but maybe it will at some point.
Well, perhaps I'll have to give it a try.
I believe the good doctor and I could use a shower.
Showers for everyone
Probably.
will stink.
Which brings up a good question. Do they have sonic showers on a Klingon bird of prey, or how does bathing work on a Klingon ship? I'm curious.
Hot water.
You know.
Hot water?
I don't know. I mean, maybe. That's a good question. That is a good question.
Yeah, it's like they talk about sonic showers like in Voyager all the time, but you never really find out how they get clean on a Klingon ship. Anyways, as you get back to the ship, your sort of B shift folks that are on the bridge and everything report back that everything was fine. There was no nothing weird or untoward happened. All systems are normal. And yeah, you've got the business card for the Klingon imports exports business that is on the 6th moon of Gallet 5, or G5M6, as it's abbreviated on the card. And I believe it was Tavana that found last week there was a moon that had some military equipment on it. Seemed to be a lot of power, and potentially some other starships. You might recognize that this is that moon that you recorded that.
I will relay that information to the captain and the rest of the crew.
Perfect.
We should be
Captain.
cautious.
They should be cautious of us.
I mean, you're not wrong. Captain Baraj, I'm assuming you give the order to head straight there, or was there anything else that you wanted to do to prepare for this encounter?
Well, we've gotten some supplies re-upped while we've been here. I mean, this is like a brand new bird of prey pretty much, so there's no reason to I want to do ship upgrades, because it's pretty much like the top of its line for the moment.
Oh yeah.
I'm just trying to think. Any Baj voice. Any suggestions before we take on to our next stop?
I'm going to go over this ship with a fine-toothed comb in transit just to make sure that the last of the tribbles has been eradicated. But other than that, I have no plans.
Captain, speaking of wildlife, what are we doing with the new crew member?
It will be trained. It will be brought up as our son.
Well.
I'm sorry.
On that,
She'll smile and just
on that note,
she'll smile and just well, no matter what it is and what position it is, it's not allowed in the engineering for any reason. We've had enough trouble with many things.
That's fair. It will be limited to specific decks that targs are usually only limited to, like habitation, mess, and other relevant areas. Arboretum. I don't even think there's an arboretum on Klingon.
I would be impressed as heck for a Klingon ship with an arboretum. That would
The
be
only
amazing.
reason they have plants on a Klingon ship is because it's like a really aggressive plant that'll kill intruders. But yeah, no, she
Or
will.
for training.
You go in and you fight the plant.
Yeah, carnivorous plants are the only ones that we will accept.
There's like now like a little like this,
So-
somebody puts a collar on the dog that like when it gets into a turbo lift, it can't like access certain decks.
Oh my god.
It's precious.
So Kolek, you were the one pretty much taking care of the Targ for now, right?
Oh yeah.
Where do you try to put the Targ initially? That could be like the infirmary to check it out for anything that might be wrong with it, or maybe you put it in the cargo hold, or wherever you like. But where do you put it?
Yeah, I think that he's in medical with me. I think right now I'm like tussling with him, like got him by the tusks, and I'm like kind of bumping him on the head, like, "Oh, you hear that? They don't think that you're smart enough for engineering, but I know better. We'll get you all trained up." Well, come on, hey.
Okay. So I'm going to have you do a control and command roll. 4 successes to accurately, or adequately rather, control this wild Targ. It's very happy with you. It's not attacking you or anything like that, but it is a wild Targ, so it's wanting to run everywhere.
It's like, hey, I'm in a new place. Check it out. That's the target right now.
It's in the maintenance tubes.
I got 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay. You managed to like hit the controls to seal off a couple of areas just in time, but you definitely lose control of the Targ. And it's where did you say you were again? What part
I
of the
probably
ship?
had left the bridge, like where we've been talking, or wherever we had been. I probably left there, probably chasing after the thing, pretending like I was in total control of the situation, trying to corral it back to medbay.
So we'll say it's like the corridor from the bridge to medbay. We'll say that's deck 2. It's just running around, and it's making a lot of the other crewmen really happy because there's this Targ running around. So, but of course it pees in the hallway, and somebody's gonna have to clean that up. But you eventually get control back and get him where he's supposed to be. With that taken care of, I think you're ready to get underway. So, unless there's any objections, I'll ask Tavana to give me the standard control and con roll to get the ship underway. And it's going to be just
Alright.
1 success.
Okay.
Hopefully a chance at some momentum for all of you. Fantastic. So that is 1 momentum for all of you. And yeah, you get the ship underway, 0 problems. And because this is still in the same star system, you don't have very far to go. Do you approach cloaked or uncloaked?
Well, Tavana has been working on the sensors as we've been underway, fine-tuning them, focusing specifically for some of the signatures that she picked up as they were coming into the system. So she's ready to do a detailed scan as they approach.
Okay. You absolutely can do that. And then, was that going to be with the ship cloaked, or are you going without the cloak on? That's probably a Baraj question.
Let's go cloaked.
Okay. Fantastic. You are undetected, and if you'd like to do a more detailed scan as you get closer, then that is going to be probably an insight and, again, con roll. And to get the most information, you'll need 3 successes.
All right.
But a success will be...
And because I've got technical expertise, I'll be able to re-roll one of the d20s if I need to. So let's see.
Fantastic.
That's 3 successes.
There's your 3. Awesome. Okay. So yeah, as you approach, the scanners show roughly about half dozen other starships that are orbiting this moon. And they're of various makes and models. So you've got a couple of Ferengi cruisers. There's some Jem'Hadar warships that are included in that. Probably like a Vulcan ship, and we'll say an older Federation ship. Probably like a science ship, not very powerful. But because you got 3 successes, and you get the more information, you can tell that none of them are manned, save for some small skeleton crew on some of them. But they are definitely not manned and ready to do a whole lot. And they seem to be running on low power, kind of like they're just parked, if you will. You also notice that the moon does have a substantially sized sort of spaceport. The moon doesn't really have an atmosphere, so like you can just dock at the spaceport. It's not like you'd be making planetfall. It's a small moon, and there are defenses around that spaceport. So there's like some orbital cannons, a defense shield, and things like that. It's pretty well defended. And I think it's about all the information you get on the scanners.
Okay, so unable to tell if we're being targeted at this point. Does it look like they're scanning for targets or anything?
Nope. There's really nothing going on aside from what I just described. They're definitely not targeting you. They don't.
Okay.
They don't even know that you're there. Yeah, I guess because you're not detected, you're not going to get the automated message when you approach. So there's just con silence right now.
Right, I will pass it on to the captain. It appears that they cannot see us. They do not appear to be aware of our presence, and the ships in port are unmanned skeletal crews. The orbital defenses are in place, but they are not hot.
Baraj pulls that business card out that I was about to call him the Wayun. The Vorcha gave her. Yesterday was Jeffrey Allen Combs' birthday, so happy birthday, buddy. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, she's gonna take that card out. Yeah, he's stand that king, guys, stand him. But gonna pull out that card that I was given by the Vorcha, and I'm gonna hand it to Vanna and say, hail them, but still stay cloaked. But hail this, and I give her the information, like the number, so to speak, the space phone number.
Yeah. And I assume Tavana does so, yeah? Okay, well, as soon as you hail them, you do get an automated message, something along the lines of, welcome to the Ferengi ship and defense and arms superstore emporium, and a long string of press 1 for Ferengi, press 2 for English, that sort of thing. Once you get through the menus enough, through all the different options, you finally do get to an actual person. And they answer and they say, yes, welcome. What can we do for you?
I have something to sell you. that you may be interested in.
And who do I have the pleasure of talking to?
Captain Baraj of the Orshvan.
Okay, Klingon, alright. Yeah, it turns out our stock of Klingon equipment's pretty low, so we might be able to make a deal.
I bet we will. Where should I meet you?
Well, we're on the 6th moon of Gallet 5, and you can just park your spaceship. You can dock right up with the spaceport. It's a small moon. And we'll meet you there. What is it that you're looking to sell?
One of the most important artifacts of the Klingon Empire.
Klingon artifact, huh? If it's important to the Empire, isn't somebody gonna come looking for it?
That is why we are here. Perhaps we can sell it to you before others come looking for it.
We did try something like that recently, and the people who came looking for it didn't really want to buy it from us, so I'm not sure how interested we'll be in something like that, but we could take a look.
Thank you. Assign me a docking collar now. I am here. And Anna, when she says that, and that's like the uncloak now look, you know?
As soon as you uncloak the ship, you can hear on the other end of the line, like, the red alert sirens going off, and you could see... I actually assumed that you'd have visuals, so you'd see this Ferengi with like red lights going off in the background. It's like, oh crap, we're getting attacked again. That's you. Okay. Whew. Last time we had a Klingon burn a clock, it was not fun.
Tavana already had their orbital cannons targeted just in case they decided to fire.
Oh yeah, of course. She knows. Baraj knows that you got this covered, Tavana. Oh yeah. you my girl. You my girl. No, but...
And this Ferengi's just clearly having a heart attack, like just popping antacids. What is it with you Klingons?
Banana acid, and I was like, what is that?
Like Ferengi Tums.
Baraj, the Klingons have no need for such trivialities because we are strong and ironclad, but weaker life forms are not able to digest things properly when under severe amounts of stress.
This is why we win. This is why we win chili eating competitions on Earth. Beat them at
They
their
would.
games. They would.
Oh my god. So the Ferengi, it just says, all right, it's docking port 2. I'm Talk, by the way. I'll meet you there.
Barge out. Exhale.
And
I have to show my dominance by hanging up first.
You get a sort of like a little message on the con that shows you where to go and gives you authorization to dock.
Yeah, she's, of course, that's all forward. That's already probably in Savannah's console, so.
Captain, is your plan to offer the decoy as the original? What are we getting ourselves into here? You know, as much as I dislike having to admit this, I did not have the best experience negotiating with the Ferengi last time. And I don't wish to make the same mistake again.
I do really good with Ferengi. Alright, so... J'adore. I need you to do something to this Batleth to make it unrecognizable to them as their own fake product.
I'm sure we can weather it.
Just do something. Just do some things to it. Let's mess with it. I trust you to have that I trust your artistic integrity here.
Well, if we want to make it weathered and look older. No, we can work with that. We have enough things down here that we can...
Editorialize it.
We'll do it.
All right. So you want
Excellent.
to alter the replica to not. Are you wanting to make it still look like a replica, just not theirs, or are you trying to make it look like the real thing?
Trying to make it look like the real thing,
Look at
but
yeah.
like also at the same time clearly not their replica. Like making it seem closer to reality, to the real thing, than it was before.
We'll
Like,
Like
take
more
Klingon,
some
we
beat,
would
real-
know
bit more. Mm-hmm.
There's bound to be an extra bat'leth around, and we will we'll kind of mix and match pieces here and there.
Yeah. Baraj is like, oh, you're very good. Yes, you've read my mind.
Okay. I'm going to give you a choice. So you can go for, it just doesn't look like their replica, but they'll be able to tell pretty quickly that it is a replica. And that'll be 3 successes. Or for 5 successes, you can make it look like the real deal.
Oh, come on.
You
We're
currently have-
going full hog. I'll
Let's go.
assist.
I have an
That way we
idea.
get more
Yeah,
time.
everyone.
Because, J'adore, you're going to be better at this than I am, but if I help you, you get to add a bonus die because of follow my lead. So if I'm like,
Yes.
yes, the real sword of Kahless has a little nick in the metal
Yes,
right
yes,
about
my
this
doctor.
number of
Yeah.
microns from the left. So I will know that,
Yeah.
and I can
Me
help
too,
you so
yeah.
you can get a bonus die from that.
Yeah, because J'adore might have
Okay.
like the physical know-how, but she might not have the necessarily the intense
No,
knowledge
I am
of
the
like,
person, right,
Yeah.
that has obsessively studied the reference images for cosplay kind of person on this ship right now, and I'm
No.
like, all right, see, here's what this is the exact type of fabric that is going wrapped around the handle.
Mhm. Yes.
So yeah,
You need a
can
nick
take bonus
here
die
and a-
for that. Yep.
Gotta weather it. You wrap this
So
one.
that'll be, so that's 1 extra die for J'adore, right? With
So
that?
that J'adore now has 3 die to use, and then if you're assisting
3.
her, you get anybody who assists her gets 1 die to roll to add. Don't forget about your focuses.
And then also,
do I still do
there's
that even
one
though
more-
I used all of my lead? Sorry.
I could use engineering to assist because I do have quite a few ranks in engineering. So assist in the machining of.
And this is going to be control and engineering is the role for J'adore.
Mhm.
So J'adore starts with 2. Follow my lead gets
Okay.
you a 3rd one. Since you're shooting for 5 successes, I'm not sure if you can assist on top of that, but I'm going to say that you can. So that's 4. You got 5 from Tavana.
But we can also use.
assisting.
We have a momentum floating around, right? Correct.
You do. And there's always the
Yeah.
option to give me threat.
Okay. So with an extra with that momentum spend, it would be 5, correct?
You also have a donation that just came in to help you with
yes.
this from Michael
Oh.
Wayne. So
Yeah.
Ease.
Crit
I
add
will-
dice to a player's pool. Okay, perfect. So that's at
Alright.
6 without using momentum.
Okay, that seems like a
Uh,
okay.
Though I believe 2 of those die are rolled by Valkyrie
Yeah.
and Tavana.
Can I? This is
Okay.
this is an intense stretch, but could I use my focus in blades in this?
Yeah, actually,
You know what I'm looking
I
for.
think that would.
Yeah.
I think
okay.
if you're very skilled with using a blade, that would stand to reason that you would know a lot about them as well. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I'll say sure. So that puts you down to 4 successes needed. You're rolling 4 dice. Valkyrie will roll 1, and Tavana will roll 1. And that's without the momentum, thanks to Michael Wayne's donation.
Okay.
Valkyrie
So that
failed
momentum's
their
still there if you
roll,
wanna use it also.
unsurprisingly.
Okay.
I have an assist too. I don't know if it adds a die or not, but I think Kolek can help
like-
here as well.
I imagine like
Yeah,
this
absolutely.
is the community process. So it's like we clear a table, and it's just like, okay,
All right.
everybody gather around. Help me with this.
All right.
I come in with a clear wound from a rough bite from the targ, and say, "Well, of course, there's one thing the original would have that no replica would have at all. As old as it is, there'd still be some Klingon blood in the original blade."
Yes.
Okay.
Good point.
So we've got the assist roll from Valkris. So we need the assist roll from Kolek and Tavana. And again, the roll for this is going to be control and engineering. Though
And we
I
just roll
am
one dice.
open to- correct. I am open to other disciplines if you have a good argument for why that would help.
And that was 5, correct? For just from without the
You need
Okay.
4
That
successes
is a
because
6.
of your token.
I mean, no, we have
That is
5 dice.
success from Tavana.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
one
one
success
assist
so
from
far.
one success from Tavana, and then you've got 5 dice
die
to
to
roll
roll.
there, J'dor.
Okay.
Oh shoot.
Okay.
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Come on.
Yeah,
All right. This
four-
is 5
4
dice.
dice to roll.
Okay, that's
Oh, well, you nailed it. You're good.
that's a lot of. That's a lot. Okay, that's.
You
a
didn't
lot.
know nobody's help.
1, 2, 3,
You
4,
didn't
5,
nobody's
6.
help.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Wait,
8,
that's one number.
and you only
Sorry,
need
that's my.
4. So yeah, you
We have
succeed and
We have a
get
new
some.
racket. This is spotless.
So this sword, I mean, Valkris could probably tell that this is a fake because Valkris is like that. That's their jam. But the vast majority of people would not be able to tell that this is a fake. It seems like the real deal.
We'll have a little
doesn't
extra
look like
thing.
a
Of,
copy.
we'll take that blood and we'll put it through like some. We'll put it through some treatments like outside, so it makes it look old, like degraded. So like it'll fit if they ever do like a
Yeah.
How old is
Yeah,
this?
let it oxidize a little bit instead of
Mhm.
just being fresh blood poured on a
We'll put it
sword.
We'll put it through some paces like, in the engine. Like
Yep.
there's things we can do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. Awesome. Well, now you have a very convincing sort of Kahless with you, and
Yeah, Baraj like takes it in her hands. She looks at it,
What do you think?
and she just kind of says, "If I didn't know any better, you would have fooled me." Very
Oh.
good work.
Oh, thank you. Well, we might have a second line of work if things got desperate. So.
Well, and she goes ahead and she puts it like back into like she puts it into like a new case, like because before they got it at that store and it was in like a case or something. She's gonna put it in a different case so it doesn't look like it's from that store. She's gonna put it in a more traditional case, probably replicate something that looks like what it should come in.
yeah, that makes sense.
And then,
Okay, so I presume that you dock and then head out with this this new replica sword to go talk to Talk. Who all is going on this off-ship mission?
I'll be
J'dor
there.
is going.
I gotta go.
Yeah, Tavana's going.
Okay,
hmm.
so sounds like everybody's going then. And
We
as
stick
you step
together.
off the ship, as you step off the ship, you can see it's I wouldn't say a busy spaceport, but there's probably a dozen or so Ferengi moving around here and there, checking on maintenance of things or moving crates around. Just your average spaceport type activities. And there's one in particular who looks short even for a Ferengi, dressed in a very fancy suit, like something Quark might wear. And he's using a cane that looks like a replica of the Grand Nagus' cane. This is big gold Ferengi head on the top of it, and sort of just like this dark brown wood for the shaft of the cane. And he walks right on up to you, Baraj, and just kind of squints and looks up at you and goes, "So, what is this artifact?"
Do I recognize this Ferengi in any capacity? Is he anybody notable I should recognize? If I've been around.
Probably not.
Okay.
It's possible, but
Is he like
not
old?
likely. Middle-aged.
Okay, I was just wondering if he was short because he was like hunched over or something. Okay.
No, he's just not very tall. And he doesn't seem to be like putting his weight on the cane. He just has the cane. It's like a
Just
gentleman's
being
cane type
fancy.
thing.
Okay. He's
Yeah.
being fancy. I have
Yeah.
a very important Klingon artifact. I will not show it to you in the hallway.
Right. That's what you said. Can you give me a hint what it might be? And I've got a conference room we can go to, where it's private.
It is the sword.
Another sword. Great. All right. It's
The
this way.
sword. Not another.
Yeah, all the Klingon swords are the sword. It's fine. We'll take a look. While we're walking, might you be in the market for a new ship? We've got some great Jem'Hadar warships out there. It's well, I'm not familiar
Klingons
with the
only
ship that
need
you're in,
Klingon
but
ships. But I appreciate your
Right.
offer. We
well,
will see what we
gotta
can
make a living
trade.
somehow.
You do.
He's steadily walking, like not really waiting for you, sort of talking
he's
over
just
his
walking
shoulder
along.
at you.
Can I
Well,
ask just a
if
really
you're in the
quick
market for
question?
Sure.
Trying to get a read on this guy during the conversation, because I had a thought. It kind of sounds like he's trying to run like a Star Trek version of a towing company. Because he's like, look, here are all of these ships that are grounded and kind of just in idle mode with skeleton crews. And then the next thing he asks is do you want to buy one? Like, what is going on there? Is there any, like, inference that I can
It's like
get off of that?
It seems like an intergalactic pawn shop kind of a thing. They
Great.
probably
Yeah,
do
that's
like
kind of what I
some
was thinking.
Ferengi,
probably do some
tow
like
truck
towing and
mafia.
things like that as
Cool.
well.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. Just making sure that I was reading that right. Awesome. Cool.
Yeah, like you don't get the impression that there's anything like super sketchy going on here. I mean, it is basically an intergalactic pawn shop out on some random moon, so there's going to be some element of, maybe not everything that happens here is totally legal, but nothing seems
Yeah.
like overtly sketch about it. He
He's
doesn't
like,
seem
we're not hurting anybody. We
nefarious.
just fudge the numbers once in a while. It's fine. Don't worry.
Yeah, that kind of thing. So yeah, as he's walking along, it's like, yeah. All right. Well, if you're not interested in a ship, I mean, I'll take a look at the sword too. But I got to do my sales pitch. I wouldn't be a self-respecting Ferengi if I didn't try to sell you something. So, I think I've still got a couple of barrels of blood wine left that I could sell you.
I will consider that.
He lists off some like really good vintage year.
2309, the greatest of all vintages of blood wine.
I see you're a captain of taste. Oh, anyways, we're here at the conference room, so I'll let you think about that. And he opens the door to this room, and it's not unlike the conference room on the Enterprise D. So there's like a decent sized table. It's very comfortable, but not too fancy. There's a little video console behind the head chair where somebody could give a presentation, that sort of thing. And he offers you all seats and says, "Can I get you anything to drink, a snack or anything?" And he points to a food replicator that's on the wall.
I will sample the blood wine that you are trying to sell me. And so will my crew.
All right. I don't usually offer samples of the real stuff. I can do replicated.
That's fine. No, it is not. We are fine. We do not. Klingons do not eat or drink from replicators. Klingons actually do. Like, canon-wise, they have a very big aversion to things that aren't real. So yeah.
He sort of gives you a look that says like, he just gives you a look like, of course they don't, right? Sort of the look he gives you, but he doesn't say anything. What was that, Valkyris?
At this point, they're also, for whatever it's worth, because it's worked out so well in all of the previous times, watching entrances and exits and looking to see if anybody is eavesdropping on us. Because although they're probably not going to find anything, because this is how it goes, this is what they will do.
And they're Ferengi. They
Yeah,
have good hearing.
So if you would like to look for anybody who might be eavesdropping, you could do an
Yes.
insight and security check.
I'm still not entirely okay. None of my focuses really apply here. So here goes. Well, it's a crit fail and a non-crit fail. Traditional.
Oh, Valkyris. Valkyris! You tried so hard! No!
So keeping with tradition, you're looking around for potential eavesdroppers, spies, that sort of thing. And you spot a Ferengi walking by the door right before it closes. And you are 100% certain that this is either some sort of spy or even an assassin, potentially. They're definitely up to no good. You're pretty sure that that look they gave you was like, I'm going to kill you kind of look. And you feel very strongly about this. So do with that information what you would like.
Hey, you there. Didn't I happen to see you at a bait shop on the planet that this moon is orbiting around? Don't you dare lie to me. I know that scumbag cheated me out of bars of gold-pressed latinum. It was a disgrace to my captain and my ship, and I will shake you down and find it if I must.
This poor Ferengi. This poor Ferengi, he's like dressed in like coveralls, like he's clearly a mechanic. Is just absolutely terrified. Are you like grabbing him by the shirt or something, or just yelling at him?
No, I'm just sort of doing that, like, you ought to be ashamed of yourself kind of thing to try and make him feel really uncomfortable in public. I'm not actually, like, trying to hurt him or anything, but, like, I'll just be like, okay. You don't think that you can just put on those coveralls and trick me? That same guy pretended that he was his own brother. All he did was duck under a table and pop back up again and say it was a different name. You can't just change clothes and confuse me, you swindler.
Tavana is standing just over her shoulder with a hand on her dagger, just giving the guy the eye.
So the front, just below the waist region of this guy's coveralls is suddenly wet, and he runs away screaming. And Talk looks at you all like...
Right, don't come back.
Look, another part of their
Know what
weakened
this-
digestive system strikes again.
She just kind of whispers to Valkyris, "You know, not all of them look the same. It's okay."
I'm just gonna go back to watching the entrances and exits and pretending that
Yeah.
I'm cool.
Tom just gives you all a look and looks to you, Baj, and goes, I'd appreciate it if you could keep your crew from traumatizing my employees.
She just kind of does the sweep over as she's speaking, as she looks at everybody, particularly Valkyris and Tavana, and then and Kolek a little bit. It's like Jadar's like totally on the other side of her. Jadar's like not even getting like this look as much, but she's just going, "It will not be a problem any longer. Now, talk. Let me show you what I have come to show you." And then she begins to get undressed. No, I'm just kidding. She sets the thing down. She sets the. I know, I'm terrible. I'm the worst. I make these dumb jokes all the time. So she puts the case like on the. She stands and puts the case on the table in front of him, and then she like unlatches it, and then she just opens it, and then she sort of kind of like have at it, like look at it kind of gesture of her hand.
He doesn't touch it at all, but he sort of just like leans over it and looks at it, squints a little bit. Okay. And he pulls out like those like jeweler's monocles where you inspect it really close. Yeah, exactly. And does that, and he's like, and where did you say you got this?
I am not at liberty to say, but it was acquired here in
Right.
the Gamma Quadrants.
That makes sense. So, I guess you caught up with him then, huh?
Okay, this is where I'm going to take a pause, and I am going to use my freaking interrogation talent that I never get to use. Okay, so when I succeed on a task to coerce someone to reveal information in a social conflict, I gain 1 bonus momentum, which may only be spent on the obtain information momentum spin. So basically, I get to be if I am successful in coercing information out of him, I can spin a momentum to get even more information out of him in that same turn, I guess.
Okay. So
before we get it, I just wanted to stop there and let us know I have this freaking talent that I've been dying to use. So when he says that, she's going to say, "Yes, I did catch up with him." She's just gonna play cool, like she knows exactly what he's talking about. And maybe
Gotcha.
do I need to roll to convince him that I know what I'm doing? Like, do I need to roll to sort of bluff? Like maybe presence and command, I guess.
Yeah, I was actually gonna suggest that. So presence and command, and yeah, go ahead and use that particular talent that you've got there, because it will apply here, and you'll just need 2 successes for this. It's very.
I'm gonna ask, can I say that I'm using a focus here because I do have composure and diplomacy.
Yeah, so 1 success.
Pretty good bluff check. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I would
just need
still
1
need to
success
do whatever. I just get better stats on my roll. So yeah,
Gotcha.
I got 3 successes. So now I get that momentum
Yeah.
to obtain
goes,
information.
I can't imagine he gave it up very willingly. He is a pretty tough Klingon. Like, scarier than your friend over here, and he points at Valkyris.
Well, now her mind is just like working to figure out who the hell this Klingon is. Now she's trying to think of a way to say, like, I'm trying to think of what she would say to sort of goad that name out of him.
Others are free to interject here as well if you have a thought of what your
I'm
character
not
might
gonna
say to help.
Oh, I'm not going to say anything yet. I'm just going to see if perhaps, because that's how that's going to happen. See if perhaps I can just recall something from a diplomatic family background thing without putting my foot in my mouth too much about it. Can I think of anything?
Yeah, like you guys can sort of like think, okay, what Klingon would be in the Gamma Quadrant that is like a mean, tough SOB?
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, would my family have tapped
yeah.
on someone like this?
Or maybe,
There's
like,
a chance you might remember some useful information. So let's go with reason and science, I guess.
Well,
We'll say
that's
history
cool.
can fall under science. And you'll need 2 successes to get relevant information. More successes will give you extra information, though.
Can I give you threat to
In addition
roll
to
3
momentum.
dice instead of 2?
You currently are sitting at 6 momentum, so you can spend momentum.
Oh,
before you
6
have to give me
total
threat.
momentum. Yeah, let's spend
Yeah.
1 momentum.
Okay.
I forgot that was a common resource for the entire crew. That was my bad. Okay, well, it was a single success.
Okay. Yeah, you remember that there was some Klingon that was in the Gamma Quadrant at one point. Pretty sure they were looking for the sword, actually, but it was a couple of years ago, and you can't really remember the name of the person. But you do remember there was
probably.
some Klingon in the Gamma Quadrant at one point. Might have been Worf, or can't really remember.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, now I know who it is.
Oh, it's probably just busy disgracing my house in the Dominion War. No big deal. So.
Wait, given
Names.
okay, if it's DM, if it's who I think it is, that is literally like one of her dad's like best friends. Like,
Oh.
would it
Ooh.
dawn on her?
Depends on who you think it is.
Yeah, so
Who
internally
do you think
Bosch
it is?
thinks it's Core. Internally Bosch thinks it's Core that he's talking about.
Okay.
But at the same time, that doesn't make sense because, like, I thought he was dead at this point in the timeline.
The last you heard,
Things
he
in Star
died
Trek are no.
The last you heard,
Okay.
Kor died in glorious combat defending Martok and Worf.
Okay, so now
That
what
was
she's
the
gonna
last
say
you
that
heard of the
Ferengi.
Harmaster Kor.
Offspring.
Now what she's gonna say to that Ferengi is she's going to say, "Yes, he was a friend of my father. I thought he had been dead, Core. But apparently he was not."
I mean, he seemed very alive and deadly to me.
What was your
this person
experience with him, and where did you find him when you tried to deal with him, if I may ask?
Sure, and I'm sorry, what name did you say a name there? Of this Klingon?
Core.
Oh.
Core.
I didn't, that's not what he said his name was, but might have been using an alias, but
Can I?
yeah, so what's up?
I was just gonna ask if there was a way that I could, because Tavana's been kind of studying this guy the whole time, looking for ticks and whatever. Is there something that I can do to kind of gauge? Is this guy lying? Does he actually know the name? Is he leading us on?
Yeah, we'll do a 1 success, insight and security.
Perfect. Well, would
You need
tactics
5
or
momentum.
strategy? Okay. Would tactics or strategy
not
help
really.
me on this?
Not
Okay.
in this case.
Then I'm going to go. No, I'll be okay. Let's see what we got here.
Oh no.
You're not sure.
They're very hard to
you're
read.
not really. Yeah. You certainly don't feel like, oh yeah, he's definitely lying or seems really sketchy, but given your more recent interactions with other Ferengi, might have you a little on edge. But you're not sure. But yeah, he says, yeah, it might have been an alias or something. But we were actually trying to sell him this sword, and he ended up stealing it instead.
Oh, now I know who it is. Dang it!
So he's like, yeah, I still got the, like, you can see and he points to his neck, and he's got like a tiny little, like to a Klingon, it's like a nothing scar, but to the Ferengi, he's like, this is my battle scar. That's kind of how he's pointing to it. It's like, still got the scar where he nicked my neck with a
She's gonna play a move here. She's gonna take a risk, ladies and gentlemen. She's gonna take a risk here, and she's going to sort of inspect his scar, and then like she's gonna gently hold his ear as like a way to like she's like looking at it. She's just kind of, you know, and then she just kind of gently like just a little like thummy rub. You know, nothing crazy, nothing crazy, and just says, Duras, and then she lets him go. And suddenly, like, because I feel like this is stuff that she would know, like she would know this. It just took me a minute to catch up.
It's the desired effect. We'll put it that way. It's the desired effect, and he's definitely a lot more friendly towards you now. Friendly.
Yeah.
And he goes, you know, I think that was the name, J'ing. I'm terrible at pronouncing Klingon. J'ing. That was it. J'ing of House Duras, he said his name was.
Duras. This is like where Baraj is just like she's let go of this Ferengi. She stepped back from him, and like you guys have seen, like you guys are pretty used to like like Baraj is pretty cool. Baraj is pretty like happy-go-lucky, but she just like a deep rage is just like in all of her body at this very moment. Like she just puts her arms down. And she sits down, and she just sits down where she's standing, like at the chair that's behind her, and she grips her hands on the armrests, and she looks at the Ferengi, and she sort of looks at obviously our fake sword, and then she looks at all of you, and then she just looks off into distance that nobody in particular, and she just says, the Duras, House Duras. They will always be an annoyance to the Empire. And then she looks at the Ferengi, and she says, because I believe in honor, I will no longer dupe you, Ferengi. This sword is fake. We are trying to find out who had the sword. Also, you owe the guys down there quite a bit of money. And she means like that store they were at before. She's like, you owe them money for this. My crew and I made a better fake than you did. You owe them money.
This is, well, I mean, a deal is a deal, but it says it in the fine print of the contract, but this is a very convincing replica. And did you say you could produce these, like, in quantity? Because if you do, I might have a business proposition for you that would be very mutually beneficial.
I honor my agreements. I will not sell this to you, but I will give it to the store below. You owe them money, and I guaranteed that I told them I would do my best to get their money, but the least I can do is give them back their product. With payment in return, of course, for what we originally paid. Well,
I tell you what. I will, this is very convincing, and in the interest of it, well, frankly, you're much friendlier than the last Klingon I had an interaction with. And in the interest of continuing good relations, I will buy this sword from you for what I paid, or what they paid for the original replica, plus 10% for your trouble.
I am no fool. You will pay double what they paid for this. This is
He
beyond
sort of stands
double.
back for a second.
This has now tenfolded in price, and you know it has. Do not think me a fool. Just because I am a Klingon does not mean I have not had my fair share of interactions with the fine Ferengi people, and I know that one of your rules, number 185, is never double-cross a Klingon unless you think you can get away with it, and you will not get away with it today. You will be honorable, and you will...
I respect that. 10 times is obviously that's far too much, but I could go as high as, say, twice what I paid, or what they paid for the original.
That is
And
fair.
Out of curiosity, and maybe I'd throw in a little extra discount on top of it, are you currently single?
The door just gives like this like look of like mirth. It's just like this is hilarious.
Talks
I
of
am
very daring Ferengi.
She is just going to
Tivana
say,
just looks
I am,
over at
but I
Volkris and
cannot-
goes,
She's just gonna say, I am single, but I cannot confirm nor deny if I am interested.
Oh, well, don't worry, I'll take care of that. We'll knock off another
What does that
10%.
mean?
I have a feeling that-
no,
that
no,
Baraj
I'm getting
will
the
find
hell.
out.
I have to go. Jadur, take care of this. I have to go.
Captain, I hear weird alarm bells coming from the towing
no.
area where we docked the ship. It's time.
Tivana suddenly feels the need for another shower.
She's like, I need to go soon, but for the trouble, here at least is my contact information. She has her own card, guys. It's pretty cool. In fact,
555.
it looks like this. It looks like this. This is her business card. Kapla, tingnan ma.
Fantastic. So, yeah, he gives you basically 210% of what the Vorta paid for this very convincing replica.
She'll have the what the Vorta paid back when, like, just transferred to that Vorta, like, wirelessly or whatever, with a message that says, "Hey, we took care of this for you." And also here's like a guide on how to make a better replica. So that guy, this guy has competition. It is not honorable to have a monopoly on the market.
I feel like we've
Oh,
compiled with the whatever, I don't remember the name for it, but the Klingon version of the tricorder, we've compiled some kind of tutorial footage with a voiceover of us just like explaining if
This
this
is-
if a sort of Kahless you want to create,
binging
here are the
with
steps you
Babish.
must follow.
This
Can't
is
Yes,
like
exactly.
you're making like this is how to make the model tank and how to weather it like on YouTube or something. This is that video.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you gotta do this. Take this brush, use this color, and then do this color layer.
You've now reached Klingon
Always
DIY.
prime.
Yeah.
Always
We
prime
are
your
now
sword
content
before weathering.
creators. We are the creators. Content creators.
Anyways, You get back to the ship. Before you leave, there's a sort of a knock or a doorbell, whatever the signal is at the door, saying, "Hey, there's somebody just outside the airlock."
I send out somebody
who
to deal
answers
with that.
or do you?
That is just a crewman.
Okay, so some random crewman on the ship opens the door, and then Baraj, you get a message from that crewman. It says, "Captain, I think it's for you."
They hand me like a pad or something, or they want me to go there. Oh, okay, I go.
Yeah, it's like you're gonna want to see this.
Oh. I'm coming. Clomp, 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 clomp.
So this crewman looks at you like, "I don't know what to do with this." Like desperately looking to you for direction, and
I look
you look
very
out.
concerned, like.
It's like
What is
a
that?
hover dolly, like a pallet-sized hover dolly thing, with like 4 barrels of that blood wine and like a giant heart Valentine's Day like decoration, and some sappy, poorly written Ferengi love poem.
She
And
just.
you suddenly realize this is what talk meant by "I'll take care of that, don't worry."
Okay, so she just has the crew like, just get it indoors, get it in the airlock, get it inside, put it away. And she takes like the really lovey-dovey thing off the top of it, just kind of like. She just like is like. Rock is going to be jealous when he finds out. Rock is the other Ferengi that has literally been infatuated with her for years. So.
I think J'dur sees this like, "Captain, your admirer."
He is
Never
not the
seen
first
anyone work so
Ferengi,
hard.
nor will he be the last.
You know,
So
they say
roughly.
that all Ferengi care about is money, but when they do fall, they fall hard.
Yes, they
I
fall
feel-
about 4 barrels of the blood wine deep into it. Get it in now. Get it in. She just sends him a message once they're like off and away. She sends him a message just because Klingons don't actually they don't have a word for thank you in their language, so it's not like something they think to say. So she just says, "The blood wine is enjoyable."
You get to live another day. Thank you.
What were you?
Today was
what were
a
you
good
saying
day
there,
for
Colette?
wine.
I will
Oh, just
allow
that
it.
I've never seen anyone work so hard for a second scar from a Klingon.
She just claps. She's like, "Oh, you should
Fantastic.
write that down. Write it down.
That's gold.
Wow, you should have like a book of things. Shit the Klingons say."
That's great.
Boz just sits back in her captain's seat and is just like, "Just go. Just, Tavana, just go. We have to find this guy." Did he give us any info about when we saw that guy last?
Yeah, what's
No,
our
that's-
what's our lead?
Yeah.
Oh no.
I did
Does
ask
this
him
mean that we're
about-
gonna Captain? Does this mean that we're going to have to go back and talk to him again?
No! Let me text him.
Can we
Tavana's
please
already-
do this another way? I don't want to
Tavana's
ever
already
see
searching
another
the records.
Ferengi. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yvonne is already
search-
searching for any mentions.
Look stuff up first, guys, before I text him. God.
Yeah, I think I'm calling in the family connections to see if anybody can remember the name of this guy and just being like, remember when I was fighting in the war? The rest of you
people
paying
will-
attention to what was going on outside of it? Do you remember?
If just as a point of order and just information, if y'all don't know anything about, if y'all aren't very familiar, the Duras are literally the whole reason there was a Klingon civil war during like the beginning of Gowron's reign as chancellor. So like the Duras, like basically one of the Duras killed like Worf's like mother of his child, Alexander, and Worf killed him back in the middle of them trying to figure out who the next chancellor was. So Gowron became chancellor, but his but the Duras guys' sisters, but I can't remember say their names right, but they got into this whole thing, and it was found out that they are in cahoots with the Romulans to try to gain influence over the Empire and have their nephew or whoever become, or their brother's illegitimate son become chancellor. So the Duras are basically just like the Klingon version of like the Lannisters. Like they exist, but you don't always like them. Like there's some of the Lannisters that were okay, but really most of them are just kind of rotten. That's kind of the Duras. So this is just to help you guys if you needed that.
Tavana's searching
boring
records
family reunions.
of spaceports and anything that for mention of J'ing of House Duras, where he might have been seen, any reports of his location, ship that he might have docked at, all the public records of any ports and things like that.
Baraj will actually call in some favors to the
he's...
Federation if y'all can't find anything too. Like she'll call the Federation and see if they have any information too.
Valkyris is calling in on their family connections.
Whoever is trying first. So we've got Federation route, the Valkyris family route, and we've got the records route with Tavana. So let's start with Tavana.
I was gonna say, could I try first? Because technically I have to roll first if you want to use follow my lead. And since that is the way that Valkyris tends to meaningfully contribute to the dice rolling, I would like to use follow my lead so that one of y'all can take a bonus die for it. So what should I roll for these family connections?
We're gonna go with, for that, presence and command.
And if by some miracle, I don't know how many successes I need here, but
for information on that you're going to need is somewhat scarce in the galaxy. So I'm going to say you're going to need 3 successes to get something truly meaningful from this.
All right. I'd like to spend a momentum so that I can roll 3 dice. And then if by some magical fate, random chance, whatever, I do succeed, I'm going to take advantage of the studious talent, so I would get 1 extra piece of information when I'm trying to research a thing.
Fantastic.
So, that's only if it's a success.
Hey, 3 successes. There you go. So you're able to use your family connections, and somebody says that, I think that J'ing of House Duras was one of the Klingons with Toral, son of Duras, that was present when the encounter happened between Kor and Worf and Dax with Toral. And the last time that he was seen was on some Hurq planet somewhere in the Gamma Quadrant. And because you get the extra piece of information, they actually are able to. The message is like, give me a little bit. Let me talk to Worf and find out where that was. So they're able to talk to Worf and get the coordinates for that particular planet. And they send that to you.
Awesome. And I think that they're just sort of like not looking up from, what they're reading and messaging. It's like, Tavana, come over here, take a look at this. And it's just like, not looking up, but just like really excited to finally get down this rabbit hole of things. It's like, I think we got it. I think this narrows it down.
Excellent. And just hand on their shoulder and gives it a squeeze.
No.
Dole.
So
All right.
Tavana is going to take that information and start researching this planet and the area around it.
Okay. You can use the follow my lead bonus on that, and that'll be insight and I'll let you do insight and con actually, because I believe that is a higher stat for Tavana.
Yep. And let's see, I've also got computers, so I'm using computers to do this. So I'll do my technical expertise.
And
that allows for the reroll.
And you'll just need like,
that gives me a focus.
let's say two successes to find more information.
All right, and with Valkyris, that gives me an extra die, correct? So I now roll 3 dice. Okay, and this also gives me a value, hits on one of my values, so that gives me a determination, I believe. That's my determination. All right, here we go. Let's see what happens. All right.
1 success.
I am going to
because
do
you're using that focus.
Yep.
I was gonna say, because you're using that focus, you don't need another success.
Okay.
But you can.
I was gonna do.
If you have like a reroll or anything like that, you can.
Yep.
Try for momentum.
Yep.
Okay, so no momentum, but you did succeed. So with the coordinates and everything, you're able to find that it's an uncharted planet and it's uninhabited as far as everybody knows. There was a Hurq outpost there at one point, and very long since abandoned. The last time that you know of any KDF personnel being there, it was core. And so the only real records you have are a basic outline of where the sword was originally found, where the encounter took place, and kind of where the force field is. It's unknown if the force fields are still blocking entrance to that room or not. There's some special kind of force fields that were really hard to disrupt.
Right. So Tavana is actually going to reconfigure sensors to scan the space between or near that planet, specifically tuned for the sword. I'm going to pick probably a metallic element or something that would be unique to that weapon or that blade. Start and program one of the sensors to just continuously scan that area of space around it while setting in a course for the planet.
Okay. You probably would know you're too far away to pick anything up from here, but you could launch a probe ahead of you to send back telemetry while you're headed that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So yeah, you're able to launch the probe. No rolls needed for that. And then we'll hop over to Baraj, because you wanted to check your Federation contacts, see if you could learn anything new.
Yeah, I mean, she was in Starfleet for a long time, and one of her old crewmates was part of Starfleet Intelligence. So she's gonna kind of she's gonna call in a favor to him, which his name's Terzi, and he is he's a Hylian or Halian. I can never say it right, but he's an alien race in Star Trek. And she's basically, just because he works for Starfleet Intelligence, she is going to, or at least, I don't know if he does anymore, but he probably still has those connections. She's basically going to ask him if he has any intelligence on the movements of various members of the Duras family, particularly, what was it, J'ing? Is that how you say it?
J'ing, yeah.
J'ing. She's going, so she's going to...
J'ing.
Need all reports on Duras family movements, particularly this person. And I assume that's another presence command, probably.
Yeah. I was was going to say, so presence of command, I was going to say 3 successes, but since you have a situational bonus where you've known somebody specifically in Federation intelligence, I'm going to lower that down to 2.
Okay. Here I go with my roll. Yeah!
You got 4, so you're
2
back
crit
up to 6
successes.
momentum now. And yeah, you get a response back from your friend that says, "Oh yeah, we keep track of any Duras family movements, especially given that we're more friendly-ish with the Romulans. Puts us in a little more vulnerable position, so we want to make sure that there's nothing going on between that Klingon house and our new friends." He seems to be very wary of the Romulans.
We don't want to have a diplomatic incident with the Klingons over the Duras, I understand.
It's caused problems in the past, so the brass is definitely keeping an eye on that. So you said his name was J'ing?
Mm-hmm.
Or J'ing?
I'm looking for him. As far as I know, he's in the Gamma Quadrant, but I need to know if there is any specific place he is. And if there's been any notable activity about him.
Was he one of the ones with Terral?
I believe so.
Okay, that narrows things down a bit. You can hear him, typing on a pad and the beeps of the computer searching for information. Yeah, the last time, the last position that standard Starfleet knows was that Hurq planet that Worf went to. But Starfleet Intelligence, we don't always share everything with the rank and file. You didn't hear this from me, but I don't think that's where your trail's going to be the most warm. I think you're going to want to head over to this part of the Gamma Quadrant, and he sends you some coordinates. Start there.
Noted, Tarzan. Thank you, brother. If I can do anything for you in return in the future, then let me know. I hope you are keeping up with your bad luck.
I try when I can.
Good.
All right, I'll have to brush up on my skills then.
Well, I will see you then. Until then, Baraj out. She once again hangs up before the other person so she can assert her dominance.
Of course. And your friend seems used to this and is unaffected by it.
Yes, he's very used to this. Yes, that's a meme. Yes. This is a meme in my other game. So yeah, he knows.
Yep.
His player is very aware of that. He's beaten me a few times actually. So she's going to give those coordinates to Tavana and say, "Go there." What did you two find in the meantime?
Also some coordinates, Captain. We were able to pinpoint pretty clearly where we think that this lead might take us. Are they the same coordinates?
Yeah. Are they any?
That could be
no,
interesting. So we have a choice.
Quite
to
a
make
long
here.
ways. It's quite a long ways away from the planet that was in the report from Klingon Warbirds. It's much deeper into the Gamma Quadrant. And it's just coordinates. You don't have any information that goes along with it.
Put in the coordinates. Start scanning, looking for information.
Yeah.
It's
literally anything else we can find out about what might be there.
And I tell you guys. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, on long-range scanners, it's too far away to really find anything. It's further away than the other Hurq planet, the Hurq outpost thing. So not picking up anything on long range from that far away. If you do like scan for where are those coordinates, like look it up on the computer, it's beyond the Founder's home planet.
Oh. Wowie wow.
It's deep
So-
in the Gamma Quadrant.
Is the first set of coordinates like sort of on the way to the other, to the ones that I have? Like, is there
not really.
like, a possibility
It's
that
not
one
like
could
the-
be swung by? Okay, it's kind of opposite directions.
It's not the opposite. It's not the opposite direction, but it's kind of
Way out of the way.
Yeah.
yeah, going way out of your way before you swing around.
Well, Captain, we
Remember
do have a
that
probe
we-
already en route to the Hurq planet.
Then we will
so that
continue
we
on to
can-
the coordinates that I have set out, and you will monitor that probe. And if anything needs to be retrieved from there, we can contact Chancellor Martok to send some people to deal with that. But if we are going to go beyond the planet of the Founders, according to these star charts, we are going to be the first Klingons to go out that far.
Coordinates laid in. And I
Alright.
programmed the probe to continue updates every so often, so that I'm not having to maintain contact. It just sends them out.
Yeah, that makes sense. So as you program all that in and everything, you're able to confirm that you'll be within range of the probe for about a day, and it'll send you information. And then once that day is up, you'll be out of range, and won't be able to get information from it anymore. But during that 24-hour period, it will send you some information. Before I reveal what that is there anything that you all would like to do on the ship in that 24-hour period?
I want to record my captain's log. Loch, Chiron, Gav, Och, Eshdo, Oshvan, Me Mena, Bob, Lut Vimen, Ku Mash, Kahless, Etle, Ul Mashamp, Zakpu, Dil Chach, Eshwo, Dil Na Dukpu, Moch, Barlesh, Dokme, Ka Boch, Pach, Lingan Pu, Dilkach. Sorry. I've always wanted to read that out
Fantastic.
loud. So there you...
That's amazing.
That's the version. That's the Klingon version of like these are the voyages speech that we had a long time ago that I had never got to use.
Well, that's
Yeah,
I
cool.
got a couple words in there. It was good.
Yeah,
It's hard. It's hard to read Klingon. But once you get it, you get it.
yeah.
It's still hard.
That's cool. So Baraj is taking care of paperwork, essentially, recording logs and I imagine filling out reports.
Dealing
that-
with that Ferengi, dealing with Rock and Talk, the different Ferengi that are in love with her, texting her. Rock's all
Oh
like,
yeah.
"Hey, where you at? I'm in Gamma Quadrant." Talk's like, "Ooh, how are you?" She's like, I don't know you as well as I know Rock."
Tavana deliberately avoids intercepting those messages.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, talk is definitely fishing for a date. And it's not like hourly messages or anything, but within that day, you probably do get maybe 1 or 2 text messages.
Yeah, exactly. Huh.
And then
Okay.
we'll go around here. So, J'ador, what are you doing during that day?
I think J'ador is. You know what? The ship has been maintained. We've gone through pretty extensively. She's probably just getting some good old weapons time in the training room.
Okay. Awesome. What about Valkyris?
Forgive my slight faltering of Star Trek knowledge here, but what Valkyris would like to do is whatever the Klingon equivalent of a chess-like strategy game is that is about strategy and fighting. They have Klinza, Buster says. Tell me about this. Because Valkyris would want to be
It's-
challenging anyone who wants to play to a game.
It's not so much like a battle strategy style game. Klinza is more of like, you ever play Chinese checkers, like with the little balls, and it's like on the little star, and it's got a little bunch of. It's like a similar map. I don't know. I can't remember how to play it. I've literally watched a panel on how to play it. But yeah, it's basically their version of chess or Chinese checkers or whatever, that kind of board
Some
game.
sort of abstract strategy, yes. That's what Valkyris
Yeah,
wants
it's
to do
just
while they're traveling.
Yeah, it's just not like super battle oriented as far as I know. But yeah, it's like their
Right.
cultural like chess essentially. So yeah, you're playing Klingon.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yep, that's
When you
what
asked that, I
that's
was
what
like,
they're
I know
doing.
what you're talking about.
Okay.
I knew you would.
That's Okay, and then I presume Tavana is playing a game with Valkyris at some point, but what else might
On many levels,
Tavana
yes.
be doing?
Beyond
That was amazing.
beyond that, Tavana is tracking the probe, scanning for whatever information she can in the computer system from the Dominion War about the Founders planet, what's in that area, all of that kind of stuff, and is also working on a reply to Valkyris's letter.
Okay, awesome. If you have some of that done that you would like to share, feel free, but not absolutely not required.
Perhaps next episode.
Okay. And then finally, last but not least, Kolek, what are you up to on this particular day?
So I take up a few games with Valkyris, but also I think when J'ing comes out of her training montage, I'm there with Shop, the Targ, and I say, "What's that? You heard that J'ing Duras was last seen on this Hurq planet? J'ing, have you heard anything about this?" And pretending that the Targ is giving me all of the information that, of course, we've gotten from outside sources.
I love it. That's amazing.
You are a good Targ. You are
The
a
Targ
pretty
is just-
Targ.
Yeah.
That's the most
Targ is
information you
panting
have
and
there.
tail wagging. Classic excited puppy body language from the Targ.
We could use a spycraft crew member, if that isn't that right? She'll scratch the Targ.
Wonderful idea. We'll train you for espionage, Chop.
Still does not mean they disallowed on the engineering decks.
And I think that the Targ like runs off because I do not have control of this animal. Just like runs away. And I'm like, aha! Already, the Targ is hiding from us. Excellent work.
I think at this J'ing like just locks down the lifts on this level until this target's found. He's yours. You have to find him now.
Yeah, good news is there's he doesn't pee in the hallway this time, but there's a trail of drool to wherever he's hiding.
He jumps on Baraj, just like at some point she's like, you get your Targ out of here.
The Targ's got into the bloodline.
Oh my god.
But she secretly sneaks him like Rotec blood pie once in a while,
Yeah.
Tavana has gone into the
Perfect.
duty roster and assigned somebody to Targ duty. So whichever crewman is on the shit list for that day has been assigned to Targ duty and has to go through the ship
It's
and clean up
literally the
after the
shit
Targ.
list.
Yes.
It's KP, but TP.
Yes. It's yeah, some crewman that's just been like one of those like bless their heart moments. They're just really clumsy, and so they keep causing messes. So now their job is to clean them up. It's perfect. Okay. Well, unless there's anything else, the telemetry that the probe sends you, once you're about 18 hours into your journey, it does reach the planet, and it sends you some telemetry back that it's detecting 2 ships orbiting the planet, and they appear to be Romulan.
Well,
That goes to the captain immediately.
God damn it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Expected
that is.
and
I just
unexpected.
doesn't even just sends it directly to the captain wherever they are through internal communication. They know. House Duras is.
We can't be in 2 places at once. And then, for all we know, by the time
we know
get
that they're on the.
they're on
This
what?
is the planet, the Hurq planet. They're on the old Hurq
Yeah, this
planet.
is where we're not
Core
going, right?
Right. Yeah, that's where they are.
The Romulans.
So they picked up the wrong lead.
Or yeah, the 2 allegedly Romulan. It appears to be. That's not confirmed 100%, but looks like they're Romulan. Those 2 ships are at the planet with the Hurq outpost where Worf and Core and Dax originally found the Sword of Kahless.
Open a line of communicate. Open a hail directly to Chancellor Martok now.
Done.
On a secure channel that cannot be hacked. Or whatever it is. Equivalent of that is.
Yeah.
Channel is open.
Chancellor!
There's a little bit of delay, like loading screens and stuff, and you can hear some clicking and beeping as the line's being secured. And then the face of Chancellor Martok shows up and goes, Captain Baraj, what's your report?
You will see that I have forwarded a few reports to you recently, but what I do have to report right now is that we have 2 locations of interest. We have the one that years ago Core and Worf were at, where they originally found the Sword of Kahless. And then we have another one that we are on our way to now that is so deep in the Gamma Quadrant, it is beyond the home planet of the Founders. We have sent a probe to the former home of the Sword, and there are 2 Romulan ships at it as we speak. Now, we are on our way deeper into the Gamma Quadrant, but if there could be... Dog! Shh! I am on a phone call! My dog is...
Martok just laughs, like this stern, like clearly stressed face, just for a moment breaks out in a smile, and you just get this belly laugh from Martok before he goes back to his stoic face of like, I'm the Chancellor and I'm dealing with a whole bunch of crap right now. But you get a genuine laugh out of Martok.
So, with that said, there are Romulans at the original home, or the former home of the Sword. And we, of course, know that the Duras have always had friendships with the Romulan people. And it is also worth saying that there is a member of House Duras that may be in possession of the blade as we speak, that I hope that we are going to have a chat with soon when we get to our destination.
I thought we'd killed off all of that Patak's progeny. There's another one?
Yes, J'ing. Do you know anything of him? Or her? Targ! Stop whining! I will pet you in a minute.
It sounds familiar, but I can't quite put my finger on where I know that name.
I will forward you what
At any
information
rate,
we do have on them.
Well, at any rate, the Romulans poking around there can't be anything good, but I can't spare any ships to go check it out right now, so I will trust your judgment on this, whichever location you want to go to first.
I'm going to where I'm going to first, but I should have ships loyal to my house. If you could spare them, spare them. I do not want Romulans on my tail that I have no idea of who they are or what they are doing.
I'll see what I can do, but no promises.
It does not have to be Klingon ships. We both have friends in Starfleet. That is something to consider.
That's an idea. Maybe I'll call in a favor.
If you need my help in that favor, let me know, Chancellor. If that is all I have for you, and if that is all you have for me, Chancellor, then I believe Baraj out. Hung up on him.
Very good. You get a hail back, like shortly thereafter.
Okay.
Do you answer?
Yes.
Captain, I understand this is an important mission that I put you on, but I'm not sure how it worked in Starfleet, but when your Chancellor is on the other line, you don't hang up on him. Now, I had more to tell you. I'd appreciate it if you could try your Starfleet contacts first. Let me know if that doesn't work out. I'll see what I can do.
Fair enough.
Martok out. And he hangs up.
She just slams her fist on the captain's chair. Oh, well, I guess if somebody is going to hang up on me, it might as well be the Chancellor. Ha!
Maintenance, we need you back on the bridge to repair the captain's communicator in the seat.
You
Again.
have no idea how many of those at Starfleet I broke all the time. I think I have at least 500 or more under my belt.
Given the number that we've replaced so far on this brand new ship, I believe that, Captain.
You get a calm, like, I've got that order. Do that one more time. Fix it yourself. Hang up.
J'dur out! Damn!
Everybody's trying to get the captain in a bad mood today.
Oh,
I knew I shouldn't
this
have
is
let you
growing
all in on this
great.
meme, as the Starfleet calls it. This is my meme, and you ruined it. This was my thing. You guys ruined it. I hope you're happy.
It's another one of those Federation lessons.
This has been the best session ever. Like, oh my god. So yeah,
So great.
Baraj is just going to, she's going to, we're still going and everything. And I would have actually, by the way, I would have, just for Tavana's purposes, I would have had us a cloak during this journey. Just FYI, I just didn't think to say it earlier, but I remembered. Yeah, that's something she would have ordered. If we're going this deep in the Gamma Quadrant, we're cloaked. We don't need any trouble.
I think Tavana presumes that we travel cloaked unless ordered otherwise.
Unless ordered otherwise. That's fair. That's fine. That's actually, yeah. So, and then with that said, she's probably gonna wait like an hour or two, like, to take care of some more, like, whatever, this, that. And then she is going to contact Starfleet, some old contact, like, just points of contact at Starfleet. Nobody specific, unless you have somebody, obviously DM. But she's going to basically contact like old shipmates and just like people that she knows that are higher ups, like captains and above, which she probably knows several because she's probably been, risen up in the ranks with several. So she's basically going to see if she can get as high up in Starfleet Command that she can to get this happening, to get somebody to go to that location and at least survey and see what the Romulans are up to, especially given that the Federation is kind of in more of cahoots now, like Terzi said, with the Romulans in a better way. So,
Yeah.
political intrigue.
Just double checking something real quick.
Oh, Captain Riker, stop calling me. I'm not with you like that. Oh, I don't want to talk to Riker. Last time I saw him, it was on Ariza, and we had too much fun. I drank him under the table, and then he drank me under the table the next night. No, I don't call him.
Considering the way that that man sits on chairs, it doesn't seem like it would be very difficult to drink him under a table.
You would be surprised. You would be surprised. He has to be different.
Oh,
You know, everybody at
goodness.
Starfleet, there's so many people at Starfleet, they all have to do something to, like, stand out. And I guess that was Riker's thing, was to, like, do the Riker sit. You know? I don't know.
What was your thing?
Yeah.
Being Klingon and not being in the Federation. Being punished by...
And Ferengi.
They all thought that was pretty cool with that. Okay, look, Ferengi just love me. I don't know why. I think they are just attracted to powerful women that could throw them around. Who knows? I don't know what it is with me in particular, Ferengi, but they love me.
So Baraj, as you send out some, feelers looking for somebody that could help, you do get a message back from the NCC 1305F Yamato with Captain Jenkins responding, and it's a hail from the captain.
When Jenkins can't, I just, I'm so sorry. I have to do it. I answer, Leroy Jenkins. How the hell are you?
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, you said
he just sort of-
Jenkins. How can I not?
He just gives you a quizzical look and goes, I'm not sure how many times I have to tell you, my first name is Thomas, but I got your message, Baj. What's, how can we be of assistance?
I just explained to him, I don't tell him what we're doing is. I just say, I don't know. Gosh, how am I going to tell Federation what we're up to without telling them what we're up to? Okay, here we go. I may be in need of a little bit of assistance, since I cannot be in two places at once, contrary to popular belief, Jenkins. I
Well,
have a
technically,
problem.
if you get to warp 10, you're everywhere at once.
Like that Fleetwood Mac song. I want to be with you everywhere. Okay, anyway.
I'm sorry, I'm not much of a classical music person.
Some of your music is okay. Funk was the best. Anyway, so I have a problem. There are Romulans snooping around a Hurq site. Sorry about my hair. There are Romulans snooping around a spot that I have a probe in. And I can't tell you what my mission is, but it's very important to Klingon cultural endeavors and to our people. It's not so much a political mission or anything, it's a very culturally significant thing that we're doing. And they might be in a culturally significant place, and I want to know why, because I'm going somewhere else to track down this culturally significant thing, and they're in its former home. You may be able to read reports about Commander Worf and a Commander Core, and here's the coordinates, and those get sent over. I just need somebody to see what those Romulans are up to.
So,
And if they're associated
you're kind
with
of
the
coming
Ross.
across as like, you're kind of coming across like, so here's this thing that's totally not suspicious that you shouldn't ask any questions about, that I need you to do for completely legitimate reasons, nothing nefarious. So you're going to need to make a roll for this. So it's going to be
Can
presence and
Tavana help out with
command.
that? Can Tavana help out with
Yeah.
that by breaking in and going, Captain, this is
I
an
got 2
encrypted
successes.
secure line.
And well, hold on before you roll, because
Oh.
it's. I need to tell you how
Tavana
difficult
breaks
this
in and
is. I'm
goes,
spending some threat to make it harder.
Captain, this
Go ahead.
is an encrypted and secure line.
Oh, it is?
Okay.
Jenkins?
All of our
Are you there?
communications with Starfleet are.
Good.
There was some interference there, but we're back on now. So it's going to be 4 successes because I'm spending some threat to make it a little bit harder because
I got 2, so...
you sounded so suspicious. You can't.
But we do
spend
have a
some of
lot
your
of momentum.
You wanna
I
add
think
more
we
dice?
still have 6.
You're at 6
Yeah, let's
right
add
now.
momentum. Yeah,
That's
however
usually
many
decent
add
momentum.
momentum I need for 2 more die, I'll roll them.
So that's 2.
Bam, baby!
Okay,
I
so you succeed.
am very good at not making you think I'm being suspicious.
So, yeah, you probably everybody else on the bridge. You sound like, don't be suspicious. But Captain Jenkins is like, okay, that's a weird way to phrase that, but all right, that's fine.
I'll send you some
And-
stuff about what we're doing. I'll send you stuff. For your eyes only.
That's fine. Well, the neutral zone isn't really quite a thing so much anymore. So I mean, the Romulans are free to be in the Gamma Quadrant,
I know
but
this.
so I can't really tell them to leave. But
In
we're in the Gamma
patrol
Quadrant
area.
right now. Yeah, but we can
Make contact with
we
them.
can
Ask them
go
how
give
they
them a
are.
neighborly hello.
Go take
We'll
them
go
out
give
for
them a-
coffee. I don't care. Just try to figure out what they're up to there. Because I will send you some things that will give you context for what is going on here. Capiche?
All right, sounds good. I'll look forward to that. We'll go give them a neighborly hello, Yamato. And he hangs up.
Leroy Jenkins! And then
You get the
At least they
impression
have
that
blood wine.
he's aware of your reputation for hanging up on people and decided to get in before you could hang up on him.
You sons of potatoes! She just throws like a trinket or something across the bridge. She's mad because she knows she can't destroy her communicator anymore, or J'dor is going to be a total killjoy. So she goes ahead and forwards like the old report of like the Worf when Worf and them were there back in the day, and then
Okay.
she forwards that, like kind of earmarks that report and just notes like this is the location of where that happened, and basically she's giving him all the tools to figure out like what they're actually doing, but she's not like giving him the obvious like, oh yeah, we're looking for the sword of Kahless. Hey. She's basically like sending him enough information that he can probably after a minute go, oh, they're going somewhere to find the sword of Kahless, and they're wondering why Romulans are in the area where it used to be. Like, it may take him a little bit, but if he's smart enough, he can maybe put it together. But she's not gonna like, oh yeah, look what we're doing. Totally, it's cool. Like You know,
Tavana
if
would
I
also
may.
include
Yeah.
the probe information as well.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, perfect. Once you send all that information, you get a response back that basically like a roundabout way of saying like, I get this is a classified mission. I'm not going to look too deep into it. We'll go see what the Romulans are doing, give them a neighborly hello, and just make sure they're not doing anything weird. And also a cool little bit of trivia. So the NCC 1305E Yamato was the sister ship to the Enterprise D.
I thought
And
so. I was
this
like,
is
that
the.
sounds familiar.
It was destroyed in a weird computer accident thing. So this is the
Oh,
F,
no.
which is much like the Enterprise D is now a Sovereign class cruiser. So which is the Enterprise E, the last one that you saw, I think mostly just in the movies. A little bit of Star Trek trivia there for you. So it's a Sovereign class. So it's a pretty beefy ship. If they do run into trouble, you know that the ship could definitely handle itself. Even if there's like a couple of Romulan Warbirds out there. So with that, I presume you continue on your way to these unknown coordinates, or these known coordinates but unknown location.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Captain,
Baraj, at some point... Oh, go ahead, Colette. I'm sorry.
I've spent a bit of time in my youth as a cultural ambassador, and may surprise most Klingons to find out that there are parts of our culture that other folks would prefer not to learn the details of. Perhaps in the future you could use that to our advantage to hide a bit of our culturally significant mission.
That's fair. That's good. I like this. Gold star. No, she's just like legitimately. She's like, that is smart. Very good. And then in the meantime, she is going to sort of, as we're traveling for a second or for a while, like she is going to inform all of you at some point. Where we're just kind of him-hawing on the bridge. She's basically going to theorize. She's going to say, if this is the Hurq we are going to face, we must be prepared. I have faced the Hurq. They are no enemy to scoff at. They are the first enemy of the Klingon Empire, and they will always be. They took the sword from us originally. And if for somehow and some way our own people, somebody from the House of Duras, is in cahoots with the Hurq in any capacity to make them return, we will squash them. I have great concerns that we will find Hurq beyond the homeworld of the Founders. And then she just kind of leaves that for you guys to marinate on or comment on. And for those of you, oh, hey, chat, look at all that. Penny for tail. Yeah. Woohoo!
Thanks so much, Penny for Tail, for the 5 gifted subs. It's amazing. Thank you so much.
Targ! Come here.
Okay. Well, you've got the Yamoto checking on that uncharted planet for you, the one where Worf and Kor found the sword. And you're well on your way to these coordinates that you got from Starfleet Intelligence. Yeah, with those, looks like with the gifted subs, that is going to be a story element unlocked. So I've got to figure out what I want to do with that. That's so exciting. I have an idea. I'm gonna keep working on this while we're talking. It's gonna be good. So you know you're gonna have a long trip ahead of you. The Gamma Quadrant obviously is quite large, and you're going further beyond where any other Alpha or Beta Quadrant ship has gone thus far. Is there anywhere that you want to stop along the way? Or is there anything that you want to do on the trip before you get to your destination? Because this will take several days, if not weeks, to get to where you're wanting to go.
I want to see if in the sort of massive spiderweb of diplomatic family connections we can't get some of House Moshta's connections out here to try and deflect, distract, delegate whatever is going on with the Romulans so that we can just kind of continue to fly under the radar as we have been. Yeah, I'm all about going into the unknown, but also don't really want to do that without backup.
I see. Well, yeah, you're certainly able to try. If
Yeah.
you'd like to try to get your house's backup, some extra resources in the Gamma Quadrant,
Yeah.
you could try with a presence and command roll. It's going to be 3 successes to get something substantial.
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna make that 4 because I'm feeling particularly evil today. I'm gonna spend a threat to make this 4.
I'm gonna spend 2 momentum if that's okay then, so that I can roll 4 dice.
Absolutely. So that'll put you at 2 momentum total left.
1 success.
Oof.
Yeah, there it is. I was waiting for that to come back. Oh, wait a second. No, I'm sorry, I just realized I have a donated thingy from the gift subs. What does that let me do? Reroll or just succeed?
I believe that's an automatic success on whatever it is that you're trying to do.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I really don't want Romulans breathing down our necks as we're trying to recover our important cultural artifact. I would like to use my donated crit. Thank you, Mitch.
Perfect. So, perfect. So yeah, you'll automatically succeed then. So as you're talking to your family contacts, the folks in your house, they start off saying like, well, the whole reason they sent you is the Empire's resources are stretched thin, and there's just really not a whole lot that we can spare. But then one of the aides for that person comes up and whispers in their ear and say, well, I just found out we had 3 ships that just came back from patrol. They're tired. They could really use some rest, but if it's important, we'll send them out to go into the Gamma Quadrant. Where do you want them to stay?
If they do this correctly, they should not have to exert their energies far too much. This is just to be a distraction and a means of waylaying the Romulans so that they don't get too curious to follow where we're going. And I'll just give them the coordinates of that sort of like outer rim area of where we've just started to enter.
Okay.
Be obvious, but not threatening.
Gotcha. So basically you want them to kind of run interference so that if Romulans are trying to follow you, they'll see these ships instead.
Yeah, basically just be the equivalent of like a really belligerent drunk person on the street that attracts all the attention while being totally harmless. They're just loud and they're there and you can't look away. And we're just like, we're good. That's the goal here.
Okay. Yeah, they're able to send some ships out to do that. They're 3 birds of prey. They're the older, smaller version of the ship that you're in. So they will sort of chill right around there. Anything else that anybody would like to do? Or is there anywhere you would like to visit?
So Tavana has, she's going to spend some time with Valkyris is in researching as much historical information that we have on the founders planet from the Dominion War, the Hurq, everything that we've learned about them, what we know within our history and recent history. And then privately, Tavana has reached out to her father, who is Crom, the head of the house, about entering into formal negotiations with House of Mushta upon their return, and he is also, being who he is, aware of the nature of their mission, and she will ask him to provide a little backup to maybe some ships to DS9 to the other side of the worm, just on the other side of the wormhole, that if Starfleet or if the ships of House Mushta require assistance or backup, that there are more ships available if needed.
Okay.
But primarily it's
about-
regarding negotiations, entering formal negotiations with the House of Mushta on their return.
Okay. Then yeah, so it's going to be the same role: presence and command, to try to get the ship resources. Everything else goes swimmingly. But to get more ships in the quadrant, you'll have to do that role. And yeah, I'm going to say just straight up 4 difficulty, because there are already other ships that have been diverted. So essentially, every subsequent request for aid is going to get a little bit harder. I think you're muted there, Kat.
This is more kind of a back channel. Whoever you've already got in the area, just let them know. All right, so
Okay.
let's see. Not doing that. Presence and command. Since I have commanding bloodline, which lets me ignore the first complication on that task. So I don't know how that will help with this, and I'm going to spend a momentum.
Okay. If I remember
Give me a
right
third
how those
die.
types of things work, it's if you do roll poorly and you get a complication, you can ignore it. Essentially, it doesn't.
Okay.
It doesn't make it do something bad.
Okay, here we go. 3.
3, nice. So a little bit short of the 4 goal there, but what I think we'll do is just say that they're not able to spare any more ships, but they do kind of lean on Valkrys's house and the negotiating of things to send an extra ship. So now there's 4 Warbirds instead of 3 out there, all from the House of Mushta. So you've got a little bit of backup in the Gamma Quadrant. You got the Yamoto for if things get really hairy, and you've got 4 Warbirds that are running interference for you. So you're fairly confident nobody's following you. Yeah, unless anybody has anything else pressing, I'll say that after a few days, you do eventually get to. Go ahead.
I think Jadira has a project that she may want to do. She's been spending time looking at this. Now there's been significant downtime looking at this new cloaking module, and she thinks she may have an idea to, if we can modulate this to sync up with the other systems, we can capture some of the express energy from when the cloaking device disperses, shifting some of that energy back into some of the systems temporarily.
Okay, that's a ambitious project.
Yeah, we got time. We got like weeks.
Okay. So I think it's definitely going to be a complex task. And I'm going to very quickly remind myself how to do that. So in the meantime, is there something somebody else would like to work on that we can talk about while I find the complex task thing again?
Kolek spends time
Yeah.
building some Hurq training sequences.
Okay.
Good. And I was actually going to have Baraj ask you, like specifically kind of come to you, Kolek, and say, if we are going to face the Hurq, I need you to synthesize in some way something that will make sure everybody is at their best. Basically, she's asking you to sort of make like Klingon steroids without it actually being steroids. You know what I mean? Like just something to get everybody's like kind of not like a drug to make them better, but like sort of to make sure that like everybody's sharp. Like something that like just set yourself up to like be a field medic that can take on like you could hypo somebody and it fixes like a wound, you know, like you like set yourself up to be like very efficient, but also have ways to give everybody an edge.
As you say that, Chope jumps, leaps over top of you, and sort of lands like in my arms. And I tell you, already working on it, Captain.
She just looks at the targ, and then looks behind her, and kind of looks at you, looks at the targ again. I hope you have trained him to kill our enemies. Not us, though. I don't need that on my life. I don't need that. I don't need that headache. Make sure he starts pooping in one spot. Maybe you should work on that next.
Oh, I didn't know that, Captain.
Oh my god. So, if you're wanting to make sort of like a combat cocktail type thing, we'll do reason and medicine. And I'm not going to put a difficulty on that. Just however many successes you get, that's how well it's going to work.
Targ, go away. Go downstairs. Go eat food. Go drink water. I might have to feed my targs in a second.
No worries. And then Kolek, you can just make that roll and whenever you want to.
Sorry, what's the roll?
So it was reason and medicine to work on that.
Got it.
Combat booster, we'll call it.
And I have a focus in
Oh, sorry,
performance
I didn't roll.
enhancement. Seems relevant here.
That would work, yeah. So that'll basically be an automatic 1 success. Okay.
So 2 successes.
2 successes plus the focus basically puts you at 3. So we'll say if you're able to make enough for every person to have like 1 hypo spray of it, and it's basically like a free momentum. So you all are free to put that in your inventory.
Sweet.
And when you use it, essentially you get 1 momentum. You get an extra die to roll on that. whatever task you're doing immediately after. Which will be very helpful. Okay, and then I very quickly brushed up on extended tasks because this is going to be a very big project trying to do all of that to the engine. So we're going to do a few steps here. So step one, one thing is you'll probably have to disconnect the cloaking device, or at least turn it off before you can work on it. And then once you do that, it's going to be a reason and engineering role to figure out kind of how this is going to work. And then if you succeed that, we'll move on to the next step. Here's the big question is, I guess, do you want to disconnect the cloaking device while you're on this mission?
She would definitely bring that up to her. I think it's like, no. Oh, we'll figure it out. She brings it up to the crew. I think this is a crew decision, not hers. She'll bring up the idea.
I have a focus in cloaking systems that I might be able to figure out a way to reroute it so that it does not need to be disconnected.
That would be preferable, I think.
Yes.
We'll do,
Keeping a low
we'll
profile as far as this group can would be preferable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We'll do reason and engineering for that. And I'm going to put this at 4 successes, but you've got a focus, which applies, so you can bring that down to 3.
Okay.
When you succeed at a reason or control as part of an extended task, may ignore up to 2 resistances for every effect rolled. So,
Okay.
Okay.
I will also use one of my crits for that.
Yep, I'm going to use my crit as well for my roll.
Okay. So we've got a crit from Tavana, which means, yeah, you automatically know how to do this without having to disconnect the cloaking device first. And then J'ador, you've used a crit. So you are able to figure out the logistics of how this is going to work. Again, you just make sure I'm on the same page. You're trying to sort of recycle some of the dispersed energy from when the cloaking device is deactivated.
Yeah, I imagine maybe it's something like the cloaking device is knocked out for a little while, but it gives like something temporary to a system, maybe something like that. Nothing like permanent, but
Okay, so like you could
first couple shots, or first hit, or something like that.
yeah, boost the power to the weapons or to the shield or something when you drop the cloak. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you figured out the logistics of it, and then we're going to do 2 more tasks. One to configure this on the cloaking device part, and then one to configure this on whatever system you want to do. So I guess 2 or 3 more, because it'd be 1 more task for the weapons, 1 more task for the shield. So if you want to have it where you can choose either or, it's 3 more tasks. Or if you're just choosing one of them, then it's 2 more tasks.
Okay, Captain. We have 2 choices. Can have the shields or the weapons be the beneficiary of this device, or we can have both, but I'll tell you right now, it is a risk.
So
if this works at all.
Just so out of character, so I'm understanding this. So you're basically asking me if I want to apply some kind of boost to the shields or the weapons, but if we do both, it's going to be way riskier.
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure I'm understanding
It's more
correctly out of character.
Yeah, it's more complicated.
The best offense, the best defense is a good offense, as the humans put it. Weapons.
Yes. Well, a ship can't fire back if it's already been destroyed, so same page. All right, weapons.
Okay.
We're gonna have to have
So
those decks free, and we're gonna have to deassemble at least part of that deck. So no targs either.
yeah, definitely. So with the cloaking device still running, thanks to Tavana, you know how to do this while it's still running, but it's still going to be risky because it's like working with electrical wires without turning the power off first. If you know what you're doing and you're careful, it could be fine, but it's still dangerous. So I'm going to say 4 successes to attach this to the cloaking device. And because I think it'll be fun, I'm going to spend a threat to make it 5.
Okay.
So you'll need 5 6s. You have 1 momentum. You can always give me more threat. And you have, of course, personnel resources, aka your crew, that can help you with this.
Okay.
Can I use another crit to offer assistance as well? Again, because we're dealing with the cloaking systems.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're the correct. So I guess we're both working pretty closely. Like, you know that system pretty well.
Kat, if you want to use a crit, that can just succeed on that.
Yep. Yeah. That's what I'd like to do.
Okay. So the cloaking portion is completed. The next step is to run that through the weapon system. And again, I'm gonna spend some threat and make that 5 successes required.
Okay. I think since J'dor's been working with Kolek kind of like in these like downtime, kind of helping engineering off and on, I think that she would go to him for some assistance, since the crew is small for her engineering, so more hands to be able to do that, the better.
Okay.
And I have still the focus in power systems and tactical systems. So.
Okay. So take it down to 4 successes needed.
Okay.
Kolek's happy to try and show off what he's learned from J'dor in the little training time they've had together.
And
Okay.
do you mind if I take the if I use the momentum?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, yeah, momentum for that.
Okay. So we
So
need
that's
4 successes on a reason engineering roll.
Okay. And how many dice is that again?
So currently you're at 3 with a momentum, and then I think Kolek is assisting, right? So Kolek will roll a die as well.
Okay.
You know what? I'm gonna sacrifice this last crit on here because I don't want the ship to like explode if something happens. It's real bad if the ship can't shoot.
Okay. So that's a lot of crits off the board, but
Yeah.
you succeed in what you're trying to do. So now, whenever you uncloak, the first couple of shots that you get off on the weapons are going to do extra damage. Basically, going to be like an overcharged shot. So your sneak attacks with the drop the cloak, fire, and then recloak is going to be very effective.
It's part of the original what was the experimental nature of this cloaking with that it decloaks fast, correct, and cycles up fast.
Yeah, you don't have to wait
Or
as
the
long.
weapons, yeah. Yeah. All right.
Decloak before firing. So
Yeah.
you're essentially going to be able to just like decloak and fire off 2 really strong shots, and then recloak pretty quickly.
Yeah. I imagine that this is this is not pretty. What this looks like, it looks jury-rigged. There are basically like power cables like fastened to the wall, like not like under bulkheads, but just kind of like as secure as she can make it. Yeah.
For like a starship designer, your cable management would make them pull their hair out, but for like in the field adaptations, this is fantastic. Like, you did a great job.
Yeah.
So you definitely got some messy stuff, but it's all out of the walkway, and it doesn't have to look pretty as long as it works, right?
Yes.
Great. So we'll say this after about a week of traveling while cloaked and at warp. You get a message from the Yamato, their Baraj, and it's sent straight to you, not just to the ship.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's Captain Jenkins. And he says, so I looked into your little Romulan question on that planet. They said they're setting up a science base there. Something about researching archaeological digs and spots. Something about how they think maybe the Vulcans and the Romulans before the separation may have settled in the Gamma Quadrant. It sounded pretty far-fetched to me, but that's what they're doing. There's 2 Warbirds there. A lot of people on the ground. But not a lot of military from what I saw. But the Romulans,
concerning.
Yeah. Romulans, even to their friends, don't really give the whole truth, so
well,
take that with a grain of
salt.
If
there is any Starfleet presence continuing in that area, I would appreciate a little bit of a once-in-a-while check-in. I can also have Klingon ships survey that area in the future as well, but for the immediate response, I do thank you for taking a look at that very quickly. And if there is anything I can do in return to you in the future, Captain Jenkins, let me know.
I appreciate it. We gave them a neighborly hello. They know we're in the area. Starfleet wants us to make our presence known here. It could be nothing, but tensions are still not great between the Federation and Romulans, so we'll do that. And then, if you want to have any of your people just swing by to let them know that they're not alone in the neighborhood, that would be great.
Thank you. Or no, I wouldn't say thank you as a Klingon. I would say, that is all. Baraj!
Yep, Yamato out.
I did it first. I said first the time! That first. So, I should say Ojvron out. I keep saying Baraj out because that's what I'm used to saying. And then, she's gonna go ahead and forward that, report, essentially, like a summarization of that report to Martok and on secure channels, so that he's aware, okay, this is what the Romulans said. And she's also going to recommend that Klingon battleships do, or research vessels, whatever. It's just that Klingons cruise by once in a while. She's also going to forward him, her previous reports from the Starfleet of time she's dealt with the Hurq, which he actually would be aware of, because he was a general when that happened. And again, that's it's like Baraj's fucking backstory, or that's so ridiculous. But it's in the previous campaigns, but she has dealt with the Hurq, so she is going to forward what information she does have on the Hurq and their technology from those former Starfleet reports of hers. So basically, at this point, she's worried that the Romulans are taking up like some people back in the day when she was first on the Vasquez, that there's now Romulans, because before she was used to, like, for her back in the day, it was like kind of like an extremist sect of Klingons trying to bring the Hurq back through like these Stargate things, and basically she's at this point she's suspicious that and worried that the Romulans are attempting to basically use Hurq technology to travel at a faster rate or to bring the Hurq to return. Because for those of you who don't know, the Hurq were literally the first aliens. This is mostly for chat and everybody in here, whoever. The Hurq are the first aliens that ever attacked Klingons. They were the first. That the Hurq literally in Klingon means other. It just means other, and so the Hurq are called Hurq because that's the Klingon word for other. They're before Klingons were ever warp capable. The Hurq touched down and they stole a lot of stuff from the Klingon homeworld, and the Klingons have always been pretty sore about it. So this is probably one of the reasons why Klingons got to the point that they did to get to warp, because they were like, oh, somebody came in from out of the sky and got us. We've got to get the sky too and prevent that. So that's giving everybody context as to why the Hurq is really concerning to Baraj, and should be concerning to really any Klingon of a sane mind. So she's thinking that basically the Romulans are trying to they're probably attempting to use Hurq technology, and maybe they're in conjunction with this Duras person. Maybe in her mind she's thinking maybe they know that these two, like, there's these 2 points that are gates or something, and they're going to try to use those to hop across or test them with, or do something with the sword. So maybe the sword's important in all this, but she's just kind of stewing in a lot of, like, theories in her mind, and she's not really liking any of those theories. So yeah, so she's gonna make sure that Martok and them are aware that, like, we need to be a step ahead of this. Like, if they're trying to use Hurq technology, here are ways to possibly, like, disable Hurq technology that she knows of from previous experience. So just basically destroy it. Do it the Klingon way. Just destroy it. Just go and destroy it. It's fine. It's fine. Blow it up.
So the message you get back is just that they're going to coordinate with Starfleet to keep a presence in the area.
Yeah, she makes sure he has the contact for Jenkins and anybody else relevant in the area with Starfleet.
Yeah, and your mission has basically been given. Your priority 1 is to ascertain the Hurq threat, if it exists, how big it is, etc., as well as if Duras is actually behind this or not. And then your secondary objective is to get the sword back. Yeah. And then the objective of surveying is basically like a very low priority now.
Tertiary, yeah. It's a tertiary objective.
It's like if you can do 2 things at one time and you happen to get some information, great. Otherwise, we really don't care. This should take your whole focus. Once you do that, you do get a hail message as you get close to the Founder's home planet.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably a Vorta who hails your ship. And you are currently cloaked, so the fact that you're being hailed is a little bit alarming.
Concerning. Yeah.
Yeah.
You see what they want.
Yeah, I accept the hail.
Like to answer the phone. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's a very, smug-looking Vorta on a Jem'Hadar ship.
Vorta isn't smug-looking? Like, it's just
right.
a cultural thing.
It's like, even for Vorta, he's like Wayun levels of smug.
Extra smug. Wayun. Yeah. Fucking Wayun.
And he says, so you're the ship that we were picking up. I have news that might concern us both. If you would like to pause for a moment on your trip and discuss?
Meet. I need to have assurances that you are not hostile.
Oh, come now, the war is long over. We're all friends here.
She
Can
just
I
looks
track
at
that
Tivana.
signal? Well,
Yeah,
Bosch is
she's
Uh,
kinda
speaking.
looking at- she's kind of looking at you like, "Hey, what do you know? What do you know right now?"
Yep.
Just keep him
You're able to
talking.
do so with ease, actually. They're not cloaked or making any attempt to hide where they are. It's a Jem'Hadar carrier orbiting the planet.
Are there any
The
other
planet we're going to?
The Founder's home planet.
Oh, okay.
So
the
this is
Founders
like
Home.
on all the way. So the planet
Sorry, my
will
target's,
count on it, include-
Yeah, my
No
my
worries.
my talk has a response to Jem'Hadar.
Good talk.
Yeah, I want to run the scan on. I'm just gonna do a quick sensor scan of the area and the planet, and also, do we know if the Vorta have cloaking abilities?
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The Jem'Hadar
Okay,
have
so-
advanced
Yeah.
cloaking.
If
Their clothes
Yep,
are better than
if
ours.
it's-
Yeah.
if possible, I want to see if I can determine if there are any other cloaked ships as well as what else is going in the area there. It's going to look like a standard sensor scan.
That's totally fine. So yeah, you do a scan, and their cloaking technology is so good that it's next to impossible to really pick them up with what you know, as far as pinpoint them. But given information that was shared during and after the war, you're able to tell enough with the sensors to know that there are cloaked ships in the area. You just don't know how many or where exactly.
But there's more than them. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's
I'll-
an internal silent communication to Baj.
Okay. Also, it probably wouldn't be too surprising to see that, because this is the planet where all of the founders are, and they are very xenophobic and isolationist and a little paranoid after they get their butts kicked in the war. But also, fun trivia: Odo is currently on the planet. For any that are Deep Space Nine fans. So yeah, that's basically what you're able to ascertain. And the Vorta doesn't seem especially interested in meeting face to face. He just wants to talk to you.
Oh, okay. So he's not asking me to just
Come down to the
like
planet.
come in on his ship. Yeah. He's just asking me to
No,
sort
it's
of
just kinda
pause
like
what
a-
I'm doing. Like stop
Yeah,
a
like,
minute
can you
before you
pull
go any
over for a
further so I
second?
can tell you some. Okay. I really
That's
thought
somewhat
that was-
relieving, to be perfectly honest.
Yes.
I was worried that is not
Yes.
where we were going with this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. She
Um,
in that case, she is going to tell Tivana. She's gonna mute the the thing for a second.
Yep.
Right. She's gonna kind of look at him and go
Hold,
like
please.
this, and she's gonna mute. She's gonna hit the mute button. And she has a mute button installed on the captain's chair just for this occasion. She's gonna like hold the thing down on mute, and she's gonna look at Tivana, and she says, "Stop us, but be ready to hit warp again in an instant. I do not know if I trust
I
these
passed-
Vorta,
I
but
pass
we will
that.
see
I
what they have to say."
pass that on to his door, and be ready. We may hit the gas hard.
As soon as you slow down, this Vorta responds back and says, "Thank you." So as I mentioned, I have some information that might be of interest to both of us. As I'm sure you know, we generally don't like talking to outsiders very much, and given the recent events, we don't like seeing military around here. So I figured it's
That is
important to
fair.
let you know that there is a large military presence that has been amassing
Where?
in the direction that you're heading. And he sends you coordinates, which
Who?
are the coordinates you're heading to. We're uncertain who, but it's not anyone from the Alpha Quadrant.
If I send you some information and you recognize this, I would like to know. This may be...
Certainly.
Basically, Baraj is convinced that if they don't know who it is, it might be the Hurq. So she's going to send them, like, kind of a general file on Hurq. That, like, Starfleet would have, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Like a Starfleet file. She has access to Starfleet something.
Doesn't look... They don't appear to be this... whatever this is. Though there are some energy signatures that are similar, so perhaps it could be a different model of vessel or something, or related somehow.
I propose something. I am not a fan of heading into a possible ambush. I'm sure you wouldn't be a fan of that either. And as you said, you're not a fan of military presences. We are simply going to retrieve an object and possible information. We do not have any intention to make a military conquest of what we are doing. However, if you and your Jem'Hadar would be interested, perhaps we can all go there and take a look at exactly who or what is amassing strength there.
Well, I believe given the recent events, joint operations are likely not something that the founders are willing to undergo. However,
I'm not asking the founders.
I will...
I'm asking you. Your people.
Well, while many Vorta and Jem'Hadar have chosen to travel their own path, if you will, some of us are still loyal to the founders. And as I said, given recent events and the fact that the Dominion is a fraction of its previous size, I wouldn't get my hopes up, but I will pass on your request and see what assistance we might offer. After all, it does sound like this would be mutually beneficial. I will pass that on. That's about
I will
all I can
rendezvous
promise.
with you at the Founder's homeworld. I do not want to go into this by ourselves. This will give us both time to pass along information and possibly gain ships and people to help us investigate this. I do not like facing an enemy I do not know anything about without backup.
Okay. We're getting a little short on time, so I'm going to fast forward a couple little things here. You essentially are, you're not literally at the planet, but you're within.
We're close enough
sensor
to
range.
it that it's like a couple hours travel.
So you're able to get to the planet, and I assume you would launch a probe towards your destination to get some more telemetry. Okay.
I would, but I would not want it to be clear that it's a Klingon probe. I would specifically ask engineering to try and set up the probe that if it's discovered, it can be self-destructive, which I assume will be a thing with probes. But also, I do not want it to look distinct on. I don't want it to look distinctly anything that's recognizable. So maybe the Vorta can actually help us with that endeavor too, while we're sitting there,
I can make it look Romulan.
I was about to
Yeah.
say, between the crew that you've
I don't
got
wanna-
here,
I don't
We
want
could make
to
it.
bring something down on the Baj wouldn't want to bring crap down onto Romulans when we don't know, we have no proof of them doing anything wrong. And she's not going to be the
That's
kind of
how
person
you
who's going
are.
to start a war between two different people that just because she sent something that made it look like it.
We could make
to her,
it
that's not honorable.
look
In
like
the
the
interest of
Federation
time.
did it.
Yeah.
And the fact that you have we have that story element bonus. I'll say that there is an experimental probe on board with cloaking device and self-destruct that you can
There
send
you go.
out, so it'll be
Woohoo!
undetected.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're going to bounce a graviton particle beam off the main deflector dish, and now it has a cloaking device. So you send that out, and where we're going to end the session is the telemetry that you get from that probe. And it sends back images of what looks like Klingon birds of prey, but they don't look quite like normal Klingon birds of prey. And Baraj, you'd probably recognize that it seems to be a fusion of Klingon and Hurq technology. And there's a fleet.
How dare they desperate
so
ships
smart.
like that?
I think Shador's going to need to install a new chair. And that's where we're going to end the session.
Yeah. Man, I can't wait for the next session, guys, because, oh my god.
I mean,
Literally, like, every campaign I've been in with Baraj, somehow the Hurq are there, and it's like the aliens that she can never shake down. And it's awesome. Like, it's like the Tribbles. It's like her mortal, like, her dad's, like, mortal enemy was Tribbles. Now her mortal enemy is the Hurq. Oh my god, she has killed Hurq. She's killed. Oh man, I'm so excited. Okay, I'll stop. I'll shut up. I'll let you do the thing.
Well, on that note, what was your favorite part, Buster, and where can we find you next?
Honestly, I think it's so hard to pick a favorite part in this group because y'all are all like so amazing and y'all do so much amazing roleplay. So I think if I'm gonna pick something, I think today it's going to be a tie between yet another failure by Valkyris to figure out who the hell is eavesdropping, and also the Targ, the Targ randomly jumping over Baj's head. I just was like in and out of character. I was like, hey. But yeah, there's so many good moments. All y'all had. It's hard to pick. Those are just the two that came to my brain first. So. But anyway, wonderful, good job, guys. Awesome.
Thanks. And where can we find you next?
Oh, where you can find me next? I'm primarily a Star Citizen streamer here on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Buster the Destroyer. I should be on tomorrow morning/afternoon, whatever, doing some Star Citizen, and then yeah, like I just mostly do Star Citizen and a few other Star Citizen related things and some other games, but I'm right here on Twitch and on Twitter. I'm Buster Destroyer. So come check me out, come follow me, hang out. We'll talk about space and stuff. And we'll talk about how much
Awesome.
I can't get away from the Hurq.
Fantastic. And then next, Shauna, what was your favorite part? Where can we find you next?
yeah, I liked Kolek's just taking this Targ everywhere, talking to it. I love it. It's so cute. It's so cute just having like this Targ around. I love it. I love how much he loves this thing. This destructive animal that just pees everywhere. But yeah, I'm
oh, fantastic.
Yeah. Oh god, I love everybody. This is great. I look forward to next week. But yeah, I'm Shauna Flying Source on Twitter, where I have all my art and the games I play through this week. And next time you'll see part 1 of Don't Fall in Love with Occult Entities, part 1, which is the Black Flag, a Powered by the Apocalypse Rascalian game on Wandering DM, where my sea witch broke up with her, or it finally realized what a dirtbag her beloved demon was, and is maybe in the process of getting rid of it. And after that, you'll see me on Monday for the Crownlands, where Adeline's love for her maybe dead. I don't know. Her love from the Gaunts might get people killed. So hey, Things are going great. Things are going good. We're not on the penultimate episode, so nothing bad ever happens on the second to last episode of Game of Thrones. Nothing. I'm afraid.
No, of course not. All right, fantastic. And quick shout out. Apparently, we got some fan art from Void Smoker, which I believe is just twitter.com/voidsmoker. I think is the Twitter. It got cut off on my screen a little bit there, but yeah, thank you so much for doing fan art. That's amazing. And then yeah, next we've got Anna. What's your favorite part? Where can we find you next?
Oh man, favorite part. Favorite part was the horrible, terrible failure to recognize that Ferengi that I then was like, you want to be ashamed of yourself, following them and just like yelling at them down the street, because sometimes you just gotta go with what the dice give you, and it's fun to RP out someone that tries very hard to be sincere and just cannot catch a break. It's fun. Yeah, thanks again to Void Smoker for that awesome fan art. Everybody should go follow him on Twitter and check out his artwork. He's done lots of really awesome ERP fan arts for different characters and all sorts of different things. And yeah, go check that out. Where can you find me? You can find me at Nymeria941 on all of the social medias. I also play in a actually, no, I don't play in it. I GM it. A City of Mist game that's called This Rough Magic on the Twitch channel Heroes Without Limits. So if you like folklore and mythology and all that kind of thing, go ahead and check that out. That happens on Wednesday evenings at 5 p.m. Eastern. Other than that, I'm here every Thursday doing Star Trek adventures and always hanging out on like the Encounter Roleplay Discord and stuff like that. And then I guess I'll do Kat's outro as well because she had to step out, but she's great. Go follow her on Cleric of Cord. That's where she is on all of the socials as well. And I don't know what her upcoming projects are, but she did just recently play in our One Shot Wednesdays series where we try out different new one-shots on this channel every week. And they tried out the Terror RPG last week, which is created by some people from our community as well, and it was a really fun time, really scary fun time. So the video for that is up on YouTube now if you want to go watch Kat playing more games.
Awesome, thank you. And then last but not least, we've got Dev. What was your favorite part, and where can we find you next?
My favorite part tonight was absolutely seeing our captain's specific Ferengi negotiations. We had heard a lot of tales about our captain's ways in those sorts of negotiations.
At least this time I knew what I was doing.
And we got all the blood wine, right?
Accidental
so it was great.
Umox is not a good thing, guys.
I'm Dev. You can catch me on Twitter at DevPresto. You can catch me on the Discord. I'm working on a video. It's like a short physical comedy sketch video. So please, if you see me online, harass me because I'm so close to finishing it and getting it pushed out. So if you can help me get off that cliff, please do.
Awesome. And my favorite part, there's so many good moments with all of you that y'all are amazing. Hard to pick a favorite part, but the interactions with the Ferengi was pretty great. The fact that Valkyris made a Ferengi wet his pants is that's just great. Fantastic.
I would think as a DM, like Ferengi are probably one of the most fun like things you can be and do as a DM because it's just so. You know how Ferengi are.
And it was
like,
it was 100% worth the crit fail to make that guy pee his pants.
That was for a crit fail. I mean, you know, there's some crit fails where you like lose a leg. I mean, you just made it do pee his pants. That's literally like the best crit fail I've ever seen in my life.
Closest to death that Ferengi has probably ever felt. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
The death
that
of
was
all
fun. And
dignity.
yes, Ferengi are a blast to play, especially as a GM. So yeah, that was my favorite part, I think, but the whole thing was just gold. And I'm really excited for next week. And then where you can find me next, tomorrow at 12 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, which is 2 p.m. Eastern, I'll be on twitch.tv/RAVVYN. So like my Twitter tag, but without the in the front of it. And I will be playing a John Constantine type character in an urban fantasy game called Neon Devils, which we'll have our session 1. Last week was our session 0, so I'm really looking forward to it. It's a lot of fun. So that's where you can find me next. And again, real quick, another thank you to sponsors, Helmgast, which does the system for Cult Divinity Lost, and then of course Modiphius for making this fantastic system, and especially the Klingon book with the new one, which is what we're running all this on. Thank you so much. And yeah, we're gonna go on a raid. We're gonna go raid Savvy Seaworth. Looks like who's playing Good Society. And then yeah, so we're gonna head out on a raid. Thank you again so much, everybody who gifted subs and donated and retweeted and all that. Thank you to this amazing cast. All of you are awesome. Thanks so much.